Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And good evening, good morning, or good afternoon for everyone for watching this video. And in this section, I would like to present the material or the topic about trematode in veterinary parasitology. And meets me again, I am Reza Yesica, VMMC, and I'm from Laboratory of Veterinary Parasitology, Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, Universitas Brawijaya, Indonesia. And this is our lecture today. It's about the trematodes. And the first one, and this is for the taxonomy. I know all of you know about this. And this is for class trematodes. And for especially the phylum. Phylum is belongs to Platyhelminthes. As we know that flat is flat, so it belongs to Platyhelminthes, helminth or worms. And this is a class for Trematode. There are three orders. The first one is Aspidopteria, and the second one is Monogynia, and the third one is Digynia. It's different with Chestnut. Chestnut is a lot, but they belong to uh, they have a proglotid. It's different with Trematode. Trematode is flat flux, but Chestnut is a segmented worms, but both of them belongs to Platyhelminthes. And we should know what is the trematode for comment or general information. The first one, they have dorsoventral falcinet and the body cover with syncytium. Syncytium is like a teguments or non-cellular layers, which is able to take up the foods and support the parasitic life cycles. And they have a columnate body, so they don't have a columns or body cavity. And also generally they are hemoprodictic, except cystosoma and excretory systems, they have flame cells. And also they have attachment organs such as sucker or hooks. In hooks, they are in the skins, like a tegmental. And also they have the simple digestive tract, start with mouth, pharynx, esophagus, and cecum. And there are two kind of life cycles. The first one is direct life cycles, and it belongs to monogenetic and Aspidopteria. For indirect vesicles, it belongs to the genetic order. And commonly, they have a opercular egg, except family from Cystosomatidae. Which have a spine in their egg. And the last one, some species require a second intermediate host, but moths are the most important hosts for intermediate hosts for all species. And next, first, we will explain about Aspidopteria. As we know from this picture, they have very large sucker. Here is called opisceptor or pelvis. It's for attached in the host body, and they have mouth here. This parasite is endoparasites of poikilothermic water animals such as snail or crustaceans. And the development of Aspidopteria is direct life cycles. This is the examples species. I have two. The first one is Aspidogaster conchicola, and this is the morphology of them. And they have a lot of kind of host, and the location attachment is endoparasite, so in organs or in intestinal tract of the host. And we have also Lopotaspis. They become the parasite in turtles, snails, or oysters, and the location also inside the body of the animals. And this is the morphology of Lopotaspis. They commonly find in turtles. And the second order is Monogynian. Monogynian is the most same with Aspidopteryans, but They they are ectoparasite mostly in the skin and the gills of poikilothermic aquatic animals and vertebrata, such as fish, reptiles, and amphibians. They have one, two, three anterior oral sucker, and which around the mouth being called prohaptor. This one is prohaptor. This is prohaptor. And in the posterior, they have opistaptor. It's almost same with Pyrrhotis in Aspidopetraea ordo. And the function is for attaching in the host's body. This is several example for monogenian infected in some marine fishes from Peruvian coastal zones. This is from the journal I choose, and this is several behavior. They are attached in aquatic vertebra, and the habitat, especially mostly in the ecto, so they in the skin or in the gills. No one of them parasitic in the livestock. They are hemorrhagic. They have direct circle, and in nature, they cause a big loss economic to fish farmer. This one is uh, Opistaptor, and this one is Prohaptor. So this is posterior sucker, and this is anterior sucker. This is several species of monogenian. They are Dactylogyrus vastator and so on. Also Gyrodactylos, they are almost same. However, Dactylogyrus vastator found in gills, Gyrodactylos found in skin and gills. And this is like the morphology of Dactylogyrus. They are like in gills of crabfish. And this is if you do the microscope examination in these samples. And the third order is belongs to Ticinian. So this is a lot of them, and they're quite challenging. A lot of species also, a lot of morphology that you should know. So this is the about this type. We have holostome. So holostome is like this one. So the body is divided into two parts. And monostome, if monostome, you this Diginia or worms only have one sucker and the other is not true. And for this dome, they have always one oral sucker and ventral sucker like this picture. And for Ampis dome, they also have two sucker, oral and ventral, but the they develop and the located is far, so it's called the terminal positions. And for the fifth type is echinostome, like this one. For oral circle, they surrounded by one or two spines. And the last one is cystosome. It's a blood vessel parasite, so they are not hermaphroditic. They have male, and this one is female. And the male, they have gynecoporic canals where the female worms are reside inside of the male. So they are not hermaphroditic for cystosome. And this is the junior egg. The junior egg, uh, they have two kind of egg. The first one is operculum, and the second one is spined. So fourth spine is racial in Cystosoma TD family. And this is the egg also. They have operculum like this one, and this is the spine in Cystosoma. And for family fasciolidae, we have Fasciola hepatica and gigantica. It's in fact in herbivorous mammals and man. Also Fasciolides magna, parasites in the wild ruminants, and Fasciola sebuski, they infect in small intestine of pigs and human in Asia. This is the gigantica fasciola, and this is Fasciola hepatica, and the biggest one is Fasciolides magna. It's really big. And this is the life cycle from the cattle. If they positive with Paschola, the feces will come out and is positive with egg. The egg will grow into metacidium. Metacidium will attach into snails, especially in limnia snail. Inside the body of limnia snails, they will grow into sporocheus and radia. Both of them are embryonic stage, asexual reproduction, and they will produce cercaria. After that, cercaria will come out from snails into the environment, and they will find like a vegetable or grass, and they will attach in the grass, and they will change into metacercaria. This is the morphology of Metacidium. They have cilia for swimming. And this is Sporocysta. Metacidium, after attachment into digestive gland of snail, they will change into Sporocysta. Sporocysta is embryonic sac, or which asexual reproduction occurs to produce radia. This is radia. The function is similar with Sporocysta, however, it's more active. They also in sexual reproduction produce so many cercaria. And this is the cercaria. Generally, they exit the snails and swim into the air, into the water, using its tail. It's responsible to transmission from snail to the next host. This is from cercaria of Trematode. They have different shape of tail. And this is the infective stage. They are very resistant in environment, and this stage has cystogenic glands to help organism or kills on the plant. This is the morphology of metacercaria in grass or in vegetables, especially vegetables that grew in near the water. Next is Parambistomatidae family. They are belongs to Ampistom because they have oral sugar and fetal sugar in the terminal. They commonly call as a rumen flux because the production is in rumen of ruminantia. And this is some example of genera from rumen flux. First one is Parampistomum cervi in rumen. And also this is Calicoporum dapnoi in reticulum, and this one is Cotyloporum in rumen. The life cycle is same with fasciola. However, the type of snail is different. They are not linear. And also after they eat this grass containing metacercaria eats by the cattle, they will grow into duodenum and they will attach in rumen after they become adult worm. Next is Dicrocoleum dendriticum. It's called small liver frogs or lancet frogs. This is the morphology. They are so small, no more than 2 millimeters, I think. And they are hermaphroditic, small liver frogs. They also find in bile ducts or gallbladder. And the host pest is horse or wild ruminants, especially horse, sometimes camels, rabbits, and occasionally also in humans. The first intermediate hosts are terrestrial snails. This is genera Sabrina and Helicella. And also they have second intermediate host, it's ants. One or two ingested cercaria enter the ganglion of the ants, and while the rest pass into abdominal cavity. And they will excrete about 20 micrometers thick walls, thus become the metacercaria inside the ant's body. And this phenomenon called brainworm, so more than quarter the metacercaria in they will grow in subesophageal ganglion of the ant, and it's make changes in behavior of the ant. So it's like crazy ant maybe. And this is the morphology of egg Dicrocoleum dendriticum. This is the life cycles. First, humans or cattle, they will produce the egg, embryonic egg with ingested by snails. and they will change from Mirazidium sporukis to Cercaria. Cercaria will release from snail via respiratory pore in slime ball, and after that, these ones will eat or ancest to Metacercaria after eaten by an as intermediate host. After that, the definitive host because they will become infected by ingestion of infected ants. Same with humans. And the next species is Erythrema pancreaticum. So they are trematode from the genus Erythrema and belongs to family Dicrocolidae. We have two. The first one is Erythrema pancreaticum. They are in the pancreatic ducts, and we have also Colomaticum, both of them in pancreatic. However, for Erythrema pancreaticum, they are belongs to zoonotic diseases. And this is parasites in bovine pancreas, and this one is the egg of the Erythrema pancreatic. And this is the life cycles, almost same also with fasciola. However, after the egg release, they will produce Miracidium. Miracidium will attach in water snail. In water snail, they only grew into sporkis. After become a sporkis, they will produce cercaria directly. And the cercaria will eat by this one, Conocephalus, or Technomyrmex. They are insect, and after that, the acidic injections into ruminantia. So in this insect, the metacercaria will grow and it's become infected stage of Erythrema pancreaticum. The next is Ophistorchis tenuicolis. This is fish-eating horse. So it can infect cats, dogs, frogs, pigs, and humans. They live in bile ducts in their hosts. And the hosts become infected because they eat raw meat of freshwater fish. Because the metacercaria, they attach or they grew or they become metacercaria in their flesh or in organ. And this is the life cycles. So these humans infected by Opistorchis tenuicolis because this human eat flesh or skinned from freshwater fish raw, both of them raw, and is ingested metacercaria. So be careful about that. Be careful with your food. The next is heterophysis species, is very, very small flax. It live in small intestine dogs and cats, and it has two kind of uh, host, intermediate host. First one is water snail, and the second one is fish also. And dog or cat infected by ingested metacercaria from muscle or various organ of the raw fish. And the next one is family Paragonymidae. It's called Oriental lungflax. Both of them are Paragonimus westermani and Paragonimus calicoti. They are called lung of mom. They are lung flax because the predilection is lung of mammals like a cat, dogs, and many species of wild animals and humans. This is the morphology of Paragonimus calicoti in cats in lung parenchyma. And this is the egg found in sputum or in feces also. The first intermediate hosts are snails, and the second one is crabs or crayfish. This is the Paragonimus life cycles. You can see from this habit, human inges undercooked or raw crustacean containing metacercaria. So be careful again with your food because the crab, crayfish, or crustacean can containing metacercaria. and they will develop into your lungs or in lungs or animal or humans, and they will produce egg from sputum, or they will inges the sputum, and they will move in intestinal tract, and the egg will be found in stools. The next one is Platinosome vastosum. It's called lizard poisoning flux. The cat become infected by ingested lizard as a second or third intermediate host. The predilection is in liver, gallbladder, or small intestines. But however, it's not considered to be zoonotic. This is the morphology of operculated egg, and this is the adult of Platinosome vastosum. This is the life cycle of Platinosome vastosum from cats, from the faces especially, ingested by snails, and then this is from a bugs maybe. In the bugs, they will develop into metacercaria, and this bug will ingested by paratenic host or intermediate host. It's become adult or metacercaria, and after that it will eat by a cat. And the pre-pattern of this uh, infection is approximately 8 weeks after ingestions. The last one is Schistosomatidae family. They always found in copulatory forms, male and female. This is the male, and this is female inside. The predilation is special. They are infant, and the host is very wide, from prominent camels, rodentia, antelopes, carnivore, goats, raccoon, many other species, and humans. So this is belongs to zoonotic. The main body surface, they can cover by tegmental hooks. It helps to remain in blood vessels so they can stay in specific locations. It have spines. It's like protrusions that aid moving from blood vessel into vessels or urines. The pathway of infection is percutaneous. So the cercaria will enter the skin. They don't have metacercarian stage. This is a condition if humans uh, they infected by cystosoma because infection of cercaria stage. And this is the life cycle. First one, this egg can found in feces or urine, and they will release into miracidium in water. After that, miracidium will penetrate snails tissue, and it will develop into sporocyst in snail. After that, they will produce cercaria. Cercaria will actively in water, and they will penetrate the skins, and it can be like a pruritus or fat. After that, cercaria lost their tails during penetration, become cystosomola. Cystosomola will move into circulation, and they will change into adults in blood in liver. And after from liver, they will move in mesenteric venules or vena or rectums or venous plexus bladder. This is explained you before, so you can read it by yourself. This is several kinds of species of cystosoma. We can find cystosoma bovis in ruminantia, monkey, and humans. This is for the measure, the size of their adult forms. So and possessing in terminal thorn like this picture of the egg. Intermediate hosts are Bulinus and Planorbis snails. The next is Japonicum cystosoma. They live in dogs and humans. They have a tiny rattle thorn like this one. And the intermediate hosts are Oncomelania snails. We have also Cystosoma matei. They, they infect ruminantia in monkeys. Beer terminal tone, this one is very big. And Bolinia snails are intermediate hosts. Next, we have Cystosoma nasale. It's infect buffaloes and cattle. The egg appear like a boomerang, like this one. And intermediate hosts are snail from genus Indoplanorpis. And we have also Cystosoma spindle, infect in ruminant and dogs. And yeah, they're mainly found in mesenterial veins. The egg like spindles and pulses in the terminal spike. The intermediate host belongs to genera Planorpis, Indoplanorpis, and Lineal. And the last one we have Cystosoma corazoni. The female is quite big, 18 to 26 millimeters. They can infect cattle and sheep. And this is the morphological of the egg. And this one is their spine. Okay, this is the reference that I use in this topic of trematode. You can read by yourself, especially these books, or if you have other books, that's really okay to develop your knowledge, your horizons. And I would like to say thank you very much for your attention and have a good day. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.